Question. Welcome to hell. There's no one to save you now.
What's up, everybody? This is Keya from the Wicked Majesty channel on YouTube, and you are listening to the Devil's Den podcast, the show that discusses books, poetry, movies, and facts in the genres of horror, paranormal, and true crime genres for folks who love dark, mysterious, and terrifying content. Before I start this video, I must let you know that the following content, although not generally considered horrifying, does contain disturbing yet suggestive details not suitable for younger audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
The Disney animated classic Beauty and the Beast is a wonderful magic tale about love beyond appearance. The famous film was followed up by two successful sequels, while in 2018, Disney released their live-action version with Emma Watson and Dan Stevens. Family-friendly versions are filled with songs, talking objects, and light-hearted comedy. However, the original 1740 French novel by Gabrielle Suzanne de Villeneuve told a very different and much darker story.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight we will discuss Beauty and the Beast and how different the movies are from the original book. I should also mention that the original version was later written as a short story for children by Jean-Marie Le Prince de Beaumont. Her version eventually became more popular than the original, though the two stories are pretty similar and each varies within its own version. In tonight's episode, I will make references to both of them. After tonight, you will see Beauty and the Beast from another gloomy side. So keep watching until the end for the most atrocious facts about the original story. Let's begin with the origins of Beauty. In Disney's version, Belle is the daughter of the inventor Maurice. However, Beauty's backstory becomes much more complicated in the original version. The prince's ungrateful mother says she hates the idea of her son marrying a merchant's daughter. Then a good fairy reveals that Beauty is the child of a king and another good fairy. Good fairy says that Beauty was switched with the merchant's deceased daughter to hide from a wicked fairy who wanted to marry the king and murder her. That's pretty much complicated for a kid's tale, I must say. Now, what about Beast? In Disney's version, the curse placed upon him is because of his selfish behavior. The prince refused to help a kind old woman who was actually an enchantress. Well, that's not exactly what happens in the original version. In Beaumont's tale, an evil fairy cursed Beast, and he must remain as a monster until a beautiful virgin agrees to marry him in his disfigured form. While in the original, the Beast was raised by a fairy who turned out to be evil. When the prince became an adult, the fairy tried to seduce him. When he rejected her advances, the evil fairy turned the poor boy into a beast. Yep, that sounds crazy. It sounds insane. And you'd be shocked by how this story revolves around sex. Now, let's talk about the rose now. In Disney's version, the rose represents the duration left for the beast to break the curse. Each fallen petal represents how Prince is running out of time. In the original, Belle asks her merchant father to bring her back a rose as a gift. After Beauty's father gets to the castle, he picks a branch with several roses to bring back to his daughter. He gets stopped by Beast, who demands that the merchant must die or give him one of his daughters to take the punishment. And that's how Belle ends up at the castle in the original version. Now, let's talk about the villains. We remember Disney's center villain, Gaston, and his silly little sidekick, Le Faux. It's hard to imagine a better bragging antagonist. However, neither of these characters existed in the original story. In the original, the main villains are Belle's siblings. What? Who? That's right. Although in the movie we haven't seen any siblings, in Beaumont's version, Beauty has 2 sisters and 3 brothers. The sisters are incredibly jealous of Beauty because she's so pretty and gets all the attention. They mock Beauty for peacefully staying at home and reading, while their father gets in trouble because she asks for a rose. When Beauty returns home and the sisters see she is happy and has been living lavishly, they make her stay longer than the Beast asked, hoping the Beast will get angry and eat her. Luckily, their plan fails. As punishment for their evil behavior, the sisters are turned into statues by the good fairy. Now, talking about those statues, you probably enjoyed the light-hearted enchanted objects in the Disney version. They were served as comic relief and great friends for Belle. Of course, the original was much less fun. Actually, there were no Lumieres or Cogsworth or Mrs. Potts. No dancing objects because all servants simply have been turned into statues. In the books, Beauty's friends are birds and monkeys. This huge difference between the stories and the films also shows how isolated Beauty is from the rest of the world. No one to be her household item, buddy. Well, there wasn't any form of musical enjoyment in the original story. While there are many highly memorable songs in the Disney version, the book doesn't feature any songs and dance numbers. Imagine your favorite story without all those colorful and uplifting musical elements. Yep, it was much colder in this tale, as old as time. How about the relations between Beauty and the Beast? In Disney's version, Belle and the Beast build their relationship by getting to know one another, dining and dancing. That is not the case in the book's version. In the original story, we see much less interaction between the 2 characters. Only the Beast's nightly request to Beauty. Oh yeah, nightly request. Finally, let's get to the darkest part of the story. The Beast is very eager to get rid of the curse in the original. He asks Beauty the same thing each night, but what he's asking for differs. In Beaumont's version, Beast asks Beauty to marry him, while in the original version, Beast asks her to sleep with him. Beauty refuses until she returns from her visit to her father and finds the Beast near death. She eventually agrees to marry him. Well, my lovely Dark Souls, that's all for tonight. What do you think? Which version of Beauty and the Beast do you like more? Now, the Disney movies or the original one? Share your opinions with me in the comment section on YouTube, or post your comments on the Wicked Majesty website. You'll find the link in the description below. If you are listening to this on Spotify or SoundCloud, be sure to share this podcast. And if you are listening to this on YouTube, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss any new videos. Also, please support this podcast by signing up on my Patreon. Stay tuned for next week's episode of the Playground of Horror series, where we will dive into the Little Mermaid and how she was supposed to kill the very man she fell in love with, but there was some other tendencies. This is your host, Keya, signing off. Good night, sleep tight, don't let the shadows bite.